Hello, film exploration students. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the practice screenplay assignment and just screenplays in general. This is especially for those of you that are stuck at home for quarantine, but also a refresher for anyone else in the class. Excuse me. So I'm going to start out by looking at what a screenplay kind of looks like. And the agenda for this week has a couple links down here that I really want you to take a look at. This video is a great overall, like short summary of the parts of a screenplay and how to format it. This one right here, also, this article right here is pretty good. And it goes through and you kind of get down to this and it talks about what each one of these are. So we're going to look at especially this stuff right here, the first five really for your short screenplay. And it'll even show you kind of what they look like in a screenplay. So this one right here, it's kind of an annoying website. It does this every time I go over it. But you can see here at the top is the slug line, then there's action, then there's a character name, and there's a specific way that they have it indented and everything like that. And so here is a little easier to look at an example that I made last quarter for a class, kind of a one-page stupid scene. And so we have, our fade in to start out. And then this tells us like where it is at, like what's the location, what time of day it is, interior and exterior. You'll notice like every one of the names or of the speakers is over here. If there's a parentheses there, it's to show specifically what the actor should be doing, how they're saying something, or maybe physically how they're reacting. And then you have dialogue, and they all have different formatting, which is the real tough part. And if you had to go back and forth and constantly adjust the stuff up here and all that to set up for the screenplay, it'd be pretty annoying. But there's fortunately a little add-on that we're going to use to automatically set that up. So a couple things about the screenplay format, why it looks like this. It's so that, it's meant to be ready for someone to use to shoot a film. So in here is where you got the action description stuff going on. Your characters clearly know when they have a line coming up. There's this large margin right here on the left side because screenplays are printed off in single-sided pages. And then this is the side that will be all bound together because they're pretty thick. You need a big area right there. You won't be able to look to see this stuff when you open it up. And they use these two brads, like little metal things, like right here and right here that they put in and bend open on it so that it keeps it all together. So if you ever want to sell a screenplay and you try and send it off to an agent or to that's generally they would connect you with people that'd be interested in screenplays. If you don't have it in this format, nobody's going to take it seriously and look at it because they're going to think, well, you don't know how to write for a director to make a film. So why would we bother reading your screenplay? So to get started on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google Drive and I'm going to create a new document. Google Doc. I don't like using the Google Docs app. I really like using Google Drive. I'm going to rename it so that it's easy for me to find Ryden Jeffrey. So your last name, first name, space, hyphen, space, and then I'm going to put practice screenplay. Okay. But now I want to set it up so that all the margins and everything are like that. So the easy way to do that is to go to the add-ons up here. So that's the top of your screen there. And I already have it right here. It's a screenplay formatter, but how you get it is you go to get add-ons. And this is approved through the school. So, you can actually download it and use it with your school account. And there you click it on, you install it, and it will be on there, and then you'll have it on your add-ons. And so I'm going to launch this, and what it does is it brings over this nice little bar over here that I can use to set up or to do all the stuff that it needs to do, right? So the first thing I do is I'm going to click Set Screenplay Margins and Font, and no matter what's in the document, it's going to change everything to Courier New 12 point. It's going to add that margin. It's going to have all the right spacings, all set to go. Now, is this going to be absolutely perfect? No. If you're really wanting to get a screenplay out there, if you write a lot of screenplay stuff, then you're going to want to send this, you're going to want to spend money on a nicer program. But for the free program, this works really, really well. And so the idea is, like, I'm going to start in with a fade in because most scenes at least start with a fade in. And I'm going to do 2 enters between each line to add in space, right? And then I'm going to add in my first header, my slug line. And it even gives me an example here of interior, exterior, which one I choose, the location. It shows me the format, and it'll convert it to uppercase. So I can just say, let me think. I'm going to set this exterior. I have to put the period and stuff in there. I'm going to set it in a swamp space hyphen space, and I'm going to set it at night. Okay. Create header. And now it automatically uppercase it for me, puts it in the right spot on here. Okay. Head down 2. Now I'm going to start with some action because I got to set my scene a little bit, right? So just like I have in here, I'm starting with, I got my fade in, I got my interior or my slug line, then I got my action going on right here. Am I using the word slug line correctly? Let's take a little journey and make sure Mr. Ryden knows his terminology. I think slug line and header are the same thing, but now I'm starting to question it. Yes. Slug lines are that thing right there. Yes, I was right. Good. I'm very smart. Yay. So I'm going to add some description on here, and I'm going to click action, but it actually didn't change anything because it's still along that margin. I'm going to say a large swan sits in a muddy pool. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this swan. I have no scene planned in my head, so let's see what happens. Sits in a muddy pool in a dense swamp. The swan is laughing hysterically and facing a large tree with a hole in it that looks like a doorway. I don't know what's going on. Looks like a doorway to a little hidey hole. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing with this here. Okay, now I'm going to go on to an actual speaker. So I'm going to click speaker here. And what it does is it's going to give me, because a speaker's name is in uppercase, and it's not exactly centered. It's actually just over to the right a lot more than the other text. I'm going to name this swan Swanee. Okay, there's Swanee the Swan. And let's say that I want to add a little parentheses. I'm going to say, while gasping from laughing, LAUGHING, so much. Okay, this is actually one of the only fault that I see. I think it's supposed to be about like right here is where this one cuts off on this side in the actual formatting. But anyway, no big deal. And you don't have to go and like fix all those. If you use that, I just see it and it drives me crazy when it's like that. And then I'm going to, no, not speaker. I'm going to go to dialogue. And the Swanee the Swan is going to say, I can't believe you live in that tree. Okay, whatever. I want to have some more action. I want to describe some more. I don't have to between everything, but I'm just going to. So the other thing about this is I can click on those and it'll set it up each time. Or like when I'm really writing on something, I want to kind of keep in a flow and keep going. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start writing, and I'm not going to worry about these until I get through to a point where I want to, I can go back and fix them, right? So I don't know what my other character is here. A reptile with purple ears and I have no idea what I'm going through here. No, I don't like this reptile. I'm going to say a 40-ish year old man sticks his head out of the hole in the tree and looks angry. Okay. I'm going to call this guy Jeffrey because it's me. I'm going to say, stop laughing at my home. It was a gift from my father. Swanee's going to be like, your father was a fool. And Jeffrey's going to be like, was? I don't want to add extra for emphasis. Swanee says, that's right. I killed him. Jeffrey's going to be like, no. And maybe I want to add in that he grabbing and, wait. With his hands on either side of his face. Okay. No. All right. So then when I go back, what I can do is, so here I'm already in the action, but if I really want, I can click that and it'll do it. This right here, I can, if I highlight this, what it'll do is it'll do the speaker thing. It'll capitalize all of it and put it right there. And then this right here, I can just click dialogue and it'll put it in there. I don't have to highlight it, but that one I'm gonna go speaker, 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 and so on and so forth. And you can see how it would be really easy to click through and get all these done once you get done and you're kind of like flowing with your writing out your conversation, stuff like that. So for this assignment, you're going to create it like this right here, right? And the way that you can turn it in pretty easily is, instead of using the app through it, is just go to share, excuse me, and go to copy link. But you got to look at this part. That's what people always forget. Restricted. Only people added can open this link. I want you to go and say anyone with the link, or I can't open it. And it's like turning in a blank piece of paper. Then I'm going to copy this link. And then you can go into here and you'll see that the actual assignment is right here, practice screenplay. And like it says overall, all I want for this is a 1 page of a screenplay. I don't care if it's a good story or not. Just get the hang of it. And you don't have to have a title page like I have on this one. Just to get the hang of it, show me that you're messing around with the screenplay formatter app and stuff like that. Just make sure you include some action, speaker, parentheses, that about how the speaker's saying something, and dialogue, just so you use all those. Just make it silly and just have fun with it. And then when you turn it in, I can't show you how to do it on here because I have the teacher screen, but right up here is submit assignment. And then under, you'll get the options of upload, create, or apps, I think. The apps one, you can go into Google and then you can use Google Drive to add it. But I just say under create, click on that and then paste your link in there. And then I can use that link to go into Google Drive and look at it. Okay, I think that is it. Kind of a long-winded explanation of how to get this assignment done. But you're welcome and goodbye.